Hello, my name is Jesse Rocha, and this is an identity drawing tutorial for making art of ourselves, self-portraits, self-expression, and identity. A lesson created with the generous support of the Gluck Fellows Program for the Arts. Before beginning this tutorial, please make sure to read or watch the topic presentation visual aid and complete the identity interactive worksheet, each of which can be found in the module for this lesson plan. In this tutorial, we are not going to be using a mirror or photograph as a reference, because this tutorial is not about learning how to draw a traditional portrait. Instead, we will be using drawing to experiment with and explore how we see ourselves and our own identities. Before you begin, you'll want to make sure you have a well-lit room, a flat surface, paper, a sharpened pencil and eraser, and some coloring materials. Coloring materials are optional, but they'll help you add some great dimension to your self-portrait. Once you have that, think about what version of yourself do you want to portray? Are you an athlete or a dancer? Shy or outgoing? Fashion-forward or creative and against the mold? This is your self-portrait, and you get to make all the decisions. So let's get started. So to begin, you're going to draw the shape of your head. Now remember, this is all experimentation and nothing you do is wrong. Feel free to express yourself. So to begin, I'm going to draw the shape of my head. And since I personally feel that the head is the most expressive part of the body, I'm going to draw my head pretty large. I have an ovular face. It's slightly round, slightly soft, not too many harsh angles. Now that you have the shape of your head, you're going to add just from the side a little curve for your neck. Another one right here. Now you've got the basic shape of your face. Next, I'm going to draw my eyes. Your eyes are the most expressive part of the face, so feel free to experiment with them all you'd like. Personally, I would like to draw myself how I identify, which is very open, very fun-loving, very outgoing. So I'm going to make my eyes nice and large and nice and open. I'm going to draw a bit of an almond shape, just because I like that shape. You don't really have to follow any rules. It's all about finding what you like, finding what feels best, and trying it out. This is your self-portrait, and nobody can tell you the best way that you should present yourself. I'm gonna add some eyelashes just because I really like eyelashes. I think they're really cool. I think they look really nice. I've always wanted to have really thick eyelashes. So I've drawn my eye. It's nice and open. It's a pretty large amount of my face. It's not very realistic, but that's okay. Self-portraits are all about experimenting. As we've seen with Frida Kahlo, you don't have to be realistic. So now I'm going to draw my nose. Your nose can really represent what kind of person you feel you are. So I'm going to draw my nose very straight, very proud, very firm. So I'm just going to make a slight curve here. Nice straight line, steady and firm. Now I have a very strong, very proud nose. One that shows how confident I am. Now I'm gonna draw my eyebrows. I have very bushy eyebrows. I think bushy eyebrows are kind of silly, but I'm also kind of a silly person. So I think that's pretty fitting. You can draw your eyebrows however you want. You can add them very thin, like they did in the 90s, very thick and well manicured, like people do now on social media, however you want. Nothing is right or wrong. So now I'm going to draw the lips. Your lips really show how you're feeling your emotions, and you really can do whatever you like. You can show yourself as feeling happy, as feeling sad, as laughing, as being shy. I am a pretty happy person, and I like to show that through my smile. So I'm gonna give myself a pretty big smile with very big round lips, so it's very obvious. I'm also Latino, so big lips run in my family, and I really feel like that's something I identify with. I'm gonna curve up the tips here to show a smile. And there we've got the basic parts of my face. Something I wanna make sure I add in is my ears. I get my ears from my dad. They're very big, they're very outstanding, so I wanna make sure that I include those. That way it really feels like a portrait of me. If you have freckles or a cowlick, something that really identifies you, even if you might not like it, feel free to throw it in there. So now I'm gonna add my hair. Your hair is something that you can experiment with all you want. You have chances to try things that you would probably not be able to in real life, so feel free to go wild with that. So I'm just gonna add my hairline here. I'm gonna add my widow's peak, something that I have that's very characteristic of me. I'm gonna draw my curly hair. I used to have really curly hair. I loved it. And my hair is really short now, but I'm gonna add that back. If you have coloring materials, your hair is something that you can add some color to, make it really fun, give it natural color, a different color that you've always wanted to try out, give it maybe an unnatural color like red or blue or purple, however you want. Go wild. Okay, so now I'm just gonna edit the edges of my face just because I want to. I'm gonna get something a little bit more soft and round as opposed to just an oval. Now you've got the basic structure of your face. The next part is adding in some other things that you've identified in the Identity Interactive Workshop that really speak out to you as symbols of your cultural identity. So I went ahead and added in a few things that speak to me and my identity. I added a rosary because I grew up Catholic, and rosaries always remind me of growing up and going to church. I added a beach in the background because I'm from Southern California. I've always identified as a Cali kid, and the beach always reminds me of home. And I added in a scarf, which is something I always wear. It's very characteristic of my own fashion sense, and people always identify scarves with me. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and add some color to your portrait, and you've completed it. You created your own self-portrait masterpiece, completely your own. My own kind of went a little bit modern art, but you can go a little bit more traditional. You can go a little bit more experimental or abstract, however you want to. This is your chance to experiment and express your own identity, and there are no wrong answers. So congratulations, and thank you so much.